and let's go into this ZVT. Say something in the chat, right? 1989. I need to know if you are SC Remastered, Abathur Announcer, or the Hacker Commander. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. If we don't have a response from him, when I get back out of this game, we'll do the next role during the next games, or between the next games. We are into this ZVT, guys. Let's kick this off. Thank you so much to say hi, Tombot. He just hit us up with a Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Really do appreciate it. As we have to the upper left, the pink Zerg player, Stefano. And to the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran player. This from XED Sports is Clem. Stefano representing Gamers Origin, by the way. Kind of excited to see how he goes on that team over the next year or so, or this year, because I really think Stefano's getting very good lately. Has been looking very convinced in Challenger events and more. As we are going to be seeing the Reaper from Clem coming up to the top left-hand side of the map to see just what's going on in these early stages of the day. Thank you so much for that little bit of a sub-train, by the way, guys. Appreciate the love. Again, we're pushing towards 400 subscribers. The Wardy TV weekly series is brought to you because of the subscribers. It's because of you guys that we're able to put these events on a regular basis. So a big shout out to you guys who subscribe. We do take a portion of the subscriber money every month, and we put it away to we put it away in a box, and we put it towards events like this one. So if you're a subscriber, you are directly part of the reason that this event is happening right away. Yeah, the White 1989 is here. Dude, hello, how are you doing? You want SC Remastered? Dude, it is done. I will send it to you in the next break and a Twitch Whisper, or even between the games. Woo! Yeah, you're here. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Keep your eye on your Twitch Whispers when between the games, I'll send you the code to claim, and all good. Alright, guys, we got a couple of things left to give away. We might do another one tonight. We might might save it for tomorrow. We will see. But otherwise, let's get into this game and fully focus right now, as we were just a minute or so late coming in, just because that giveaway took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to in the end. Link speed about to finish up here from Stefano in the main base. I mean, so far so good. A fast free CC from Clem is obviously going to be kind of interesting. It means that he's getting into this position right away, where he's going to have a lot of economy. He's going to be able to play very, he's going to be able to play very, very kind of just greedy here in the early stages. And Stefano going to see that. So now Stefano can kind of get the idea that, okay, I can play a bit greedy myself, or I can try and punish this. But the way that Clem's opening is super, super safe. Banshee coming out of the starport already means that he's going to have a defensive setup nice and easily. Tech Lab on the barracks means he can go straight into Stim for his bio play. If he wants to play bio, I mean, there is the potential of playing mech, and it is something we've seen from Clem in the past. He isn't purely just a bio player and nothing else, but he is going to throw down that Stim pack here, so getting that set up and ready to go. We see a couple of Hellions popping out, and we do see another couple of barracks going to be starting to be added on as well. So a couple of racks coming down, and there's that Banshee. Probably see the starport moving away. Sometimes if you want to play super safe, you can even move the starport to build the reactor, and then the factory lands on the tech lab, so you can instantly build a siege tank. But in this case, the starport will build a reactor for itself. This factory reactor will probably move away for the barracks to move onto, and the factory goes to the tech lab. So a little bit of kind of Terran building Tetris. Wow, those engineering bays were clutch to get the wall up. It's only a couple of lings and actually some SCVs on the wrong side of it, but as Hellions and the Reaper show up, just one SCV goes down. He saves the second one. Clem, nicely done. Getting those Hellions back there in time to save the day. 1-1 melee upgrades coming in for Stefano. We're going to be seeing a few more drones just coming up as well. Stim pack about halfway done for Clem also. And again, this engineering bay, second engineering bay just finishing up. And a couple of gases in the natural. Everything looking normal for Clem to just go up to 3 bases here. He's got his Hellions over on this side. He gets himself... Oh, he's going to get surrounded trying to get himself that creep to him. And that's a bit of a mistake here, honestly. And Stefano going to make a cleanup happen. Very nicely done. Stefano cleans all of this up. And Stefano, he did beat Clem just a couple of weeks ago, even just last week, in the WCS Challenger qualifiers. He actually beat Clem in the qualifying round in the winners bracket of qualifier number 2 for EU. Before then, Clem made his lower bracket run to qualify in the end anyways. Been a nest on the way up here from Stefano behind this main base mineral line, and we are going to be seeing the hatchery, the 5th hatchery coming down. Fourth base as well, so just a macro hatch and a fourth base actually being taken in position. Melee upgrades from Stefano quite far along compared to the 1-1 of Clem. It's kind of interesting to see that Stefano's the one that's leading so heavily in the upgrades. And we are going to be seeing the 2 medevacs from Clem moving forwards, and he will be unloading in a moment or two to work his way through a couple of creep tubers perhaps. So going to work his way through this, and Marines will be able to stem forwards towards those Zerglings. So seeing what he can do. A couple of creep tumors picked off already, a third creep tumor as well. And oh my god, he just about keeps those rocks from being broken down, but at this stage he might even just want to break them down himself. I mean, it's not like the Zerg's not going to break them down if he wants to, right? Marines reproducing creep coming in from the right hand side here, maybe trying to catch those medevacs. We do have the Flings now showing up, and an instantaneous lift more or less after trying to take down a queen. Realizing that's not going to happen, he just backs away pretty darn swiftly. Not going to be messing around much at all. Got some cool features for you guys today. We've got some first person view of Stefano as he comes in for the surround. He is going to come in and shut that down. So Stefano, with the shutdown right there, still kind of around ready to deal with those medevacs, and well, he is trying to get this 5th base up at the same time. So Stefano trying to get the 5th up as Clem continues to drop around. See what Clem can do as well. We'll switch it to his first person view as this drop comes in on the picture-in-picture. Marines lift up though. Medevac's not going to be able to find much of an opener here anymore. And Stefano just going to go out onto the map with his army. As Clem, he's not really finding himself much. You saw him just macroing that Banshee away. That's not really fine much either. 2 hit points as it moves away now. And, well, from all fronts, Stefano is holding on against this pressure of Clem. As now we're going to be seeing 2-2 upgrades coming in from Clem as well. So, obviously, Clem was in this position where he was in a very good spot with the free CC. He didn't need to do a lot of damage. Just clean up a little bit of creep here and there. Losing the Hellions was a shame. But it's starting to get more difficult for him, because he's getting to that point now where his further damage has not really come through at all. His 2-2 is later than Stefano's, and he's not going to have 2-2 to hit a pre-hive timing. You know, by the time 2-2 is finishing, Ultralisks are going to start hitting the field. So there's not really kind of like a pre-Ultralisk timing that Clem can go for. So there's not really any way Clem can slow Stefano down here. And so he's just going to have to start playing these later stages of the game as Terran player turns back around in the center, coming across over to the left-hand side now instead. He's going to find himself a few Zerglings to work his way through, so a few Zerglings going down. Those couple of creep tumors at the front are going to be taking some hits. There's the scan coming in. We are going to be seeing a lot of this creep spread being cleaned out. Lings are going to run in, and we are going to see the medevacs going to lift up some of those Marines and back themselves away down towards the lower right-hand side instead. +1 vehicle weapons about to finish up from, or coming through from Clem as well. I mean, it's something else that just helps him to kind of work his way through Lings, etc. I like this. He's dropping a few Marines one at a time onto Banes, the sort of thing that does go a long way to helping out here. Stefano, Spire, Ultralisks Cavern. I mean, free adrenal glands. It's everything he needs right now. Everything he needs. And that's obviously going to make quite the difference. He does lose a couple of overlords here. Clem still finds some good damage on the creep spread. Going in towards extra barracks, I think it's that sort of the stage of the game. He already has the ghost coming, I was about to say. Maybe he just needs to start building ghosts in the near future, because I just don't see what he's going to do before Ultras hit the field. And once they hit the field, you do need Liberators, Ghosts, and that sort of combination to really start dealing with all of this. Another creep tumor gets picked off, and we are going to see those Marines of Clem just pulling back a little bit. Again, 2-2 upgrades from Clem, just about to finish up here in the next couple of moments, and just going to be seeing that personal cloaking for the Ghost coming down. Again, a scan coming through, and we are going to be having, well, some of those Lings getting pushed away right from the get-go here. Another scan to the right-hand side, and we're going to be seeing some of these creep teamers starting to get picked off as well, so bunch of creep going down. Medevacs load up a few of those Marines into themselves, and moving forwards, we're going to be seeing Clem pushing into the middle of the map. We're going to see a couple of Queens coming through as well. Oh, Clem's going to have to pull back here. The tanks are going to start getting going. Stefano's just going to dive on this. He feels like it's good enough of a fight, even though he doesn't even have the Ultras here yet. The Lings keep streaming in. The tanks are going down. That one Ghost is not going to do anything against this, and Stefano, just before he even brings his Ultras into the field, just overruns Clem. Arguably, I mean, Clem set up into Ghost right now is maybe not in the best of positions to deal with a massive Ling Bane. And it's definitely not worked out for him here at all, as Stefano just continues to clean this up. And Clem right now is in a world of trouble as Stefano kills all the SCVs on the third base. He's going to get himself another siege tank here. And as more Lings stream in, it might just be about time for him to back away. It looks as though it is going to be time for Stefano to back away once and for all here, as we are going to be seeing just creep being spread. Bane's on the way up. And well, I'm still intrigued by the fact we don't even see Ultralisks at the moment on the way here from Stefano. He's just making more Ling Bane. I guess with the first Ghost coming out, is it really worth him building Ultras? Or the Ultras just going to die too quickly? Potentially. It's a real possibility, so... Well, Clem is setting up with a few more Ghosts of tank, pushing forwards as well. Now we are going to be seeing, well, just so much Ling Bane coming around the left-hand side, going to get us around. It's almost as though the pure Ling Bane army of Stefano caught Clem off guard. Like, the tanks are so good against Hydra-based armies, but against pure Ling Bane, they just don't do enough. They don't scare the Zerglings enough, and they just do so much friendly fire once the Lings are on top of the Marines as well. Arguably, you can kind of say the same about Mines a lot of the time too, but I think Mines are definitely the better scenario against Ling Bane than Siege Tanks alone. While Stefano spreads out once more, we see another medevac up here. Something which Stefano's going to come along and deal with now, and again, just intrigued by the fact that Clem doesn't even seem to have an answer at the moment. As we see Banes are just going to hit this planetary fortress and SCVs to follow. Well, there's a few Banes left over. They just don't quite find their way towards the SCVs. So the SCVs escape. The Banes get out of there. Clem loses a fourth base, has to rebuild it instantly. That was a lot of army supply from Stefano that he just threw at Clem here, but doesn't matter. He cleans up this drop finally as well, and I feel as though Stefano just rebuilds, gets ready to go again, and Clem's in this sort of position where he's struggling to keep up with it all. That said, Stefano 92 drones, so he is mining a lot. He's mining all over the map. He needs to be careful he doesn't get too low on army supply, because right now he is down in army. Clem only just whiffed, though, the free upgrades coming through at the moment. And we're just going to be seeing these Marines and Marauders Ghosts as well. I mean, the Ghosts just don't do a lot right now. They do good DPS to Lings and Banes, honestly, but they don't really have anything to snipe down, and that's sort of Stefano's style. He's like, well, if you don't have anything to snipe, are the Ghosts really any better than just having another kind of, you know, a few Marines instead? Not really. Ghosts are very expensive. Like, super expensive. That would really hurt here. He's going to see a few Liberators sieging up at Siege Tank moving forwards. Marines, Marauders, Ghosts all gathering themselves together, and we are going to be seeing another Creep Tumor just getting taken down. Lings coming in, and we're just going to be seeing the command center fully surrounded here, going to be cleaned out, and that is going to be a cancel on the CC. So fourth base denied again. Clem now lifts up the main base orbital, moves it over to the fourth base instead. He can't afford to just keep on and not, you know, having to wait for a CC to build. He's going to build a replacement CC already this time, just next to it, so it's going to be ready to go in a moment or two. It's Clem the one now moving through into the center of the map. There's a large army. I mean, Liberator support is still nice, right? And he does have 123 to 102 army supply. Stefano going to come in from the right-hand side here, though, but Clem is already kind of happy to chase this away. A few Ghosts try to come in, sniping down a Baneling if possible. A few Creep Teamers going down as well, and we are going to be having another counterattack, though, from Stefano down to the south side of the map. So Clem doesn't really have anything over here to deal with it. A few Marines stem over, and he just loses so many tanks before he actually is able to clean that out. And that, of course, is very painful once again. We are going to be seeing that tank just sieging up to the side and moving through the center of the map. Clem here. Tanks, Liberators, Bioforces from Clem all coming up into the center to see what he can do next. 48 Banelings on the way out, and we are going to see Marines pushing over to the left-hand side here. A couple of Creep Tumors going to get taken down. We are going to see these couple of Marines picking their way through these Creep Tumors on the right-hand side as well, so making some progress as those Liberators siege up. The Corruptors are going to come forwards. The Ghosts in the front are in some real trouble this time. They're going to go down so quickly, and the Banes connecting. A lot of Banes going down on Marauders and so now, though. And Stefano hits the supply block. Continue to kite backwards. Clem will get away with some units alive. Obviously, the issue may be that, well, actually, there's no Great Aspire, so Corruptors can't become Broodlords just yet. I mean, Stefano wins this fight, though, right? 50 more Zerglings in production. Clem is drained of money because he's not being able to secure himself this base. Although now he has the fourth base, he gets the fifth base on the way up. Planetary Fortress currently morphing in. Scan comes down, and a lot of Creep Tumors being cleaned out at the moment. +3 missile attack upgrade coming through. Flyer attacks and Carapace coming in as well. Stefano's got some very tanky Corruptors here. And now he starts to add Hydras into the army as well. Still just playing Lingbane Hydra in this later stage of the game. Because I think he's just saying, well, Lingbane Hydra, Corruptor, it's a very mid-game army. But God, it's going to be good against someone he's playing for a late-game scenario. It's kind of funny because late-game Terran is good against late-game Zerg. It's just late-game Terran armies are not as good against mid-game Zerg armies. Which is why sometimes if you try and transition too quickly, you can just straight up die. It is something that's a real possibility here. Pushing forward, we're going to see Lings and Banes are coming through, and they are connected onto quite a few units at the moment. Another few Banes going down at the front. Liberator Siege is up, and the Corruptors coming on in, going to chase down that Medivac, and we see a bunch of snipes coming down here as well. Another couple of Hydras going to get picked away at. Queen getting sniped, but it does get transfused in time. Stefano just needs reinforcements to keep coming up here, and those ghosts are even kind of just completely drained of energy at the moment. What more are they meant to, what more are they meant to do as we see Lings, Hydra, and Corruptors still flying around here. A lot of Lings to the right-hand side going to push on in, and, well, they're going to start working their way through a couple of these supply depots, so depots going to start dropping at the moment. So a couple of depots going down, some SCVs coming back into play. I mean, these Lings just have to back off, I think. I don't think there's much they can do. I love the Sensor Tower kill, though, because that's an expensive replacement, and it's something that does help Clem kind of deal with these run-bys coming in again and again. Stefano to the left-hand side, now making a great Aspire. Pushing forwards now, going to hit this base, and really nothing to defend, bar one siege tank, which is not going to last long. Adrenal Gland Lings are going to have an absolute field day on that. And Stefano has to just decide, how does he fight the ghosts? Well, he just backs away again. Maxed out, 100 drones, 100 army there momentarily. He's running again with the Lings to the right-hand side. Clem getting the 4th and 5th base up is so huge because it keeps him in the game, if only just. He's clinging on by a thread right now here in game number 1 of this best of 3 series. If he can somehow turn this around, what a turnaround it would be. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due. It's really going to be impressive if he makes that work. Really would be impressive. Medivac's loading up. We are going to be seeing the +3 missile attack coming along. Great Aspire as well. Lings and Hydra's going to come through. We are going to see a tank going down, a few ghosts picking away at a few Zerglings, and we're going to be seeing the SCVs in some trouble as they split away. The Hydra's try and get the base. They don't quite find it. Those Banes weren't sure as to where they wanted to go, but now Stefano runs through on the right-hand side again. That base goes down. He's going to Caustic Spray down the Planetary Fortress. Repair will come down. So many Corruptors, though. Here come the Ghosts, the Snipey boys, to snipe down some of those Corruptors, stop them from Caustic Spraying. But Stefano is absolutely everywhere, and suddenly Stefano has like a 5k bank. Starts up Pathfinder Glance. He's on 140 supplies simply because he's thinking, oh, what should I build now? What might be fun? You know, what could just be so annoying for Clem to deal with at this stage? What did I just kill here? As we are going to be seeing the Liberator, the Planetary Fortress, on the 5th. I mean, it's one of the only positions that actually stayed alive in this last attack. This left-hand side base has been ripped apart. This right-hand side base, did it even exist here? I don't think so. So it's just completely shot down. I'm going to see Stefano, some Corruptors, some Broodlords on the way through, so he's getting towards those Broods. I mean, with enough Broodlords here, there isn't really an anti-Broodlord army. Yes, the Ghosts can work, but with enough Broods, you can actually just straight up shut down Ghosts anyways, because they can't deal with the number of Broodlings that come out at the same time. So, it's definitely not perfect. This low number of Lings is actually still picking off reinforcements. Clem just endlessly in a kind of position of trying to deal with that. Stefano's left-hand side base is about a mine out. He did lose this base here, but he's got top right, he's got central base. He's got these bases to work from. He's even got this gold base, honestly, because I don't see Clem pushing into that position anytime soon. Obviously, he has to set it up, but once it's set up, I don't really see Clem taking it down anytime shortly. Infesta comes out and actually does get taken down. Clem will make some progress towards the center here. Hero Parasite on the way, more Broodlords on the way up. Stefano's starting to work his way through what was a 4.5k mineral and gas bank. Now down to 3,000 of each. Obviously, he's still manning pretty comfortably on 92 drones. I guess he must be oversaturated here or there, though. I mean, he doesn't need quite all of these works, especially if he's mining here right now. I guess that's something he'll look to fix very soon as the Broodlords come out and start to protect this position. Clem starts to try to make Vikings, and when I say try, he really is try, because he has so little money that he has just one Viking in the production tab, and obviously he wants so much more than this. I'm just going to be seeing the Lings streaming in once again as they're going to be shutting down some more of this economy, a couple of depots in the back. And we're just going to be seeing the orbital just going to lift up once again now. I mean, just denying the space endlessly here. The more he denies it, the less Clem can do. The less Clem can do, the better for Stefano, because it just means he'll just kind of face roll through this army in the next few moments. We're looking at now 10 Brood Lords. There's 18 Ghosts, which is still scary. It's still something that can kill these Broods. Some Infestors as well, though. All you need to do is cancel one set of snipes, and those Broodlings are going to get to work. And then, do the Ghosts ever get to snipe again? One snipe on a Hydralisk here, and we are going to be seeing a couple of Broods going down before there's really a response. There's those Broodlings, though, and they start to do a lot. They do have +3 melee, remember. More Corruptors on the way up as well, as we see 2 Medivacs will load up Marines. He's going to try and deny some extra bases. Well, that gold base now is maybe a bit more vulnerable than when I was talking about it, because when I was talking about it, Clem wasn't really in this kind of upward position. He maybe held this position here, but I didn't think he was going to be able to expand to the right. Now drop heading towards the upper right, and Stefano is starting to run out of mining bases, slowly but surely. A couple of snipes, goodbye to the Miss Queen. A few gains going to roll on in, and I think that's going to be enough to actually just clean this up. There's a couple of Infestors as well, just in case he needs something a little bit extra at the end of this here. Wow, perfect number of Banelings. The last Bane kills the last Marine. Hydra run by kills off some SCVs. That base, oh, guess what? It's not allowed to mine yet again! This poor base, man, has been trying to mine for absolutely, for what feels like eternity. And it's just not really being allowed to. Stefano and Clem are really clashing horns here, I have to say. 16 more Banes begin to morph in. I mean, Stefano's just not making the ending move. He focused this so much on harassment and the rest of it, but that means he should be trying to deny this gold base here. He probably doesn't expect it to be taken. Brood Lords will come forwards. It's kind of going to be one of the issues of trying to use this ledge nowadays. Although he does need to target down the Ghost with either Fungals or Broodlings to stop the snipes from coming through in high numbers. Parasitic Bomb is good. The Fungals are good, and I think Clem is going to lose out on this fight. Another Fungal Growth or two coming in. Some Banes are rolling forwards. There's not going to stop them connected on the Ghosts. Corruptors will take down anything that's in the sky right now, and Clem drops below 100 supply, and Stefano stays solid at 170 or so, as we are going to be seeing him. Well, 4 more Infestors on the way. He can just choose what he wants to build. He doesn't even need to remax instantly, because he can just sort of take his time to think about exactly what he needs. That Liberator is very brave, because Corruptors are just going to come in. Maybe it's a bait to get the Corruptors to come into sniping range. There isn't even that many Ghosts left over now, though, and you can see the Broodlings just coming in. Just going to drop down, and a couple of friendly fire from the tank. Already those Ghosts are a little bit low, and some Lings streaming in as well. He sees where the Ghosts are. 1 Fungal Growth, and that's the end of them, more or less. Hits half the Ghosts. The last 2 are not going to be enough. The Brood Lords keep pushing forwards. Stefano, at this point, realizes that this game really is his. Yes, he's probably felt it for quite some time, but now he probably realizes that the GG has to be coming, because there's really not much that Clem has left to kind of play with here. 1 Ghost, he's producing Marines, and there's 10 Ultras on the way. As he's finally cleaned out the Ghost, there's no threat to bring Ultras into the game anymore. And this is his first Ultras, by the way. He didn't make Ultras at all this game. He lost 700 Zerglings. Oh my god. Resources lost in general, 47 to 45k. And that's why it's been so important for Clem to, or for Stefano to deny Clem's economy again and again and again. Because without denying Clem's economy, Stefano would not be in this game as much as, he would not be winning this game. It would be a lot more even, and maybe even Clem gets Ravens up, and then it becomes a very difficult scenario to deal with. Pushing forwards, this Brood Lord goes down. The Infestors drop a Fungal Growth onto this, and, well, a few more Infested Terrans coming through. And pushing through this right now, Stefano will break in towards this Planetary Fortress, and that is pretty much GG for game number 1. 24 minutes, 25 minutes almost. GG well played, and Stefano takes the first game of this series. What a TVZ. Left-hand side, up a game, 1 map from qualifying to the Wally TV Weekly Season 4 Finals. It's our pink Zerg player, Stefano. And to the upper right-hand side, our red Terran player, this is Clem. I love the suggestion in the chat. Let's do a TVZ tournament. We invite like 4 Terrans and 4 Zergs. They play TVZ against each other. Best score Zerg and the best score Terran goes into a grand final best of 9. Let's go. Let's go, fam. TVZ is awesome, isn't it? The issue of that is, how do you find 4 Terran players? Oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. So few Terran players. I guess there's Clem, Euthermal, Optimus, Hero Marine to Muslim, actually. I can come up with 5. That's not bad, is it? It's not so bad. It's a cheeky number. It's a few. It's a few. It's a handful. How many Terrans can we really deal with, Pool first here. No, not pool first. Hatch first. No, it is pool first. Sorry, the production tab's confusing me and my lack of attention paid to the game. Clem, don't lose the Reaper. Oh my god. So much damage on the Reaper already is actually really bad. Because if the Reaper goes down, obviously this spells issues. And it makes it so that it has to really kite for days and days and days. So obviously the Reaper will stay alive here, but really only just. Clem a little bit kind of lackluster on the attention being paid there early. He will now be able to save the CC, or keep the CC moving. And he will clean those lings up, but nice little something there as Clem comes in and throws down an engineering bay block on the third base. That's cute because obviously the lings have gone down in the process of being across the map, so by NG blocking it actually delays this third base for quite a while from when Stefano would have liked to take it. Starts another queen, starts another few lings to actually help out cleaning up that engineering bay. And Clem, once again, it's a one gas, third CC coming into towards the main base, so really looking to just try and play this free CC style once again. And as he tries to continue doing that, let's see what continues onwards. Base trade subs, Dance Game says Hard Revenge. Aren't you a base trade sub, Hard Revenge? I'm almost sure you are. Prove that you're clean. I love the SSS emote though. SSS. Such a good little mountain. He's so cute. Oh, you're such a cutie pie. I love the SSS emote. It's the happiest, most derpy emote that was never really meant to be an emote for more than a day ever. So sick. So sick. It's like the Wardy Capopa. It just got born out of nothingness. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Same build from Clem, if you can remember back into the early stages of that last game, despite it being 25 minutes long. He did open this triple CC. He did get up the Banshee without cloak to defend early. And this is very much the same sort of style here this time around. So Clem even throwing down the stem, so once again going to be bio. Not changing anything up so far for game number 2. Obviously one of the differences will be that he gets to move towards a gold base with his command center here. That's really cute because look at that, 5 SCVs inside. He's going to just drop those off at the gold. They go on a bit of a journey. How often do the SCVs actually fly in a CC past the like 2-minute marker of a game or something? That is kind of cute, although you just have to unload them here the next couple of moments and they can get mining right away. Orbital command of course will come in through. I love that he just leaves the Banshee on the gold base. Most likely position for Stefano to hit, knowing that the gold base is up. So, yeah, just sort of getting the Banshee over there protected right from the early stages. You see a stim pack is on the way through, and we're just going to be seeing a couple of extra racks coming into play, of course. I mean, this is bio, and we know that. There's that swapperoo and the kind of, well, setup that we saw before, which is the, you know, the factory onto the tech lab. The reactor was built so it can be a barracks on it. Medevacs can come out of the reactor and kind of go from there. Wardy Capopa best emote. I swear down though, when I swear down when we have Wardy Keepop, which is Wardy Keepo with a P on the end, because that's why I typoed earlier, it's going to be amazing because it's just going to be Wardy Capopa with cat ears. I mean, what could go wrong? It sounds amazing. And then we're going to have 2 Wardy Capopa modes. It's going to be so exciting. Anyways, guys, we're just going to be seeing a couple of creep tiers denied here by these Hellions. Last game, Clem did lose his Hellions kind of really underwhelmingly, you know. He lost them trying to clean up a creep tumor on the wrong side of rocks, and he just got fully surrounded. This time, at the very least, he's going to be able to keep these Hellions alive in the center. And we are going to be seeing those queens coming over to push the Hellions back just a little bit. So Hellions taking a little bit of damage, and we are going to be seeing 1-1 melee coming through right now for Stefano. Some creep tumors starting to be cleaned out, and something's going to run in, so he might still catch some of these Hellions, but they just get off of the creep spread in time. Nicely done. Well, getting off of the creep, 1-1 upgrades come through from Stefano. Now, difference is Clem does have a much faster 1-1 this game than the last game, so he's not as delayed by that this time, which is nice. I mean, Stefano, it means that he maybe just actually has a bit more of an opening to do some damage, not just with 1-1, but we never saw Clem able to do a 2-2 pre-hive timing, right? Because, well, he never hit 2-2 on time. So that could be a bit different this time, and that would be really nice to see. I think it maybe wouldn't have been so great against Stefano, though, with the Swarmy style anyway, so maybe it wasn't such a bad thing Clem didn't attack. Anyways, we'll see what differences Clem makes. I do feel as though that you have to... I do feel as though that with the way Stefano played in the last game, you maybe just have to not go into Ghosts as quickly, because realistically, if you have less Ghosts, you have more Marine Marauder to fight that Ling Bane. it really is the kind of fast attacking kind of armies that get caught off guard by Ling Bane as heavily as he did. And there was that kind of downward spiral of momentum that Stefano got from the first fight that really led Clem kind of down into that position that really never worked out for him. This is nice, catches a few queens in the middle of the map. Wardy follows Stefano as well. I mean, I'm just Terran biased. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I mean, there's also not really much going on, I don't think, from Stefano's side until now. Obviously, now a few Lings coming through. Sorry, some lazy observing, honestly. I'll admit it was lazy observing. Ling's counter-attacking, though, and that is something with Stefano fall, because he's going to grab himself a few Marines and a siege tank here. T-Pos have to raise, but obviously that gold base is open. It's a planetary fortress, wow. Clem's very serious about keeping that gold base alive, so he gets the extra boost to the gold base, but he'll give up the third mule to kind of make up for it. So it's kind of like a, pros and cons. I wonder if it actually works out better for him than just taking a normal base and dropping mules. You're going to see that base on the low ground cancelled here as Clem's push. It's obviously the scary feature at the moment, and Stefano having to find a way to defend against this. Clem just sat on the edge. Stefano has a gold base as his fourth, so he's going to be able to run in towards this here, but maybe needs to be a bit more spread out. Here we go, some Lings from the Vac. That definitely works. The full surround. You can already see the Medivacs are planning to lift up some of those Marines. And he'll get away with 2.5 Medivacs full, and he will start to move towards the bases to maybe force Stefano to come back. Rather than moving forwards, he's going to lose a Medivac with Marines in it, though, and that's painful. That lone Spore Crawler grabs a Medivac, and Clem takes some real damage here. 2 Medivacs will start to unload on the south side. And we are going to be seeing these Lings and Banes here from Stefano, just moving out in towards the center of the map. Well, 2-2 upgrades coming in as well here from our Terran player. Combat shields was very late, and that's something he really did miss out on. And it does obviously hurt those Marines during these fights. Stefano was moving into the middle of the map, but now he has to move back to deal with these early Marines. And as he pulls back to deal with those early Marines, a Spore Crawler will get picked off. Stefano throws down a Spire already. I wonder if he just goes straight to Corruptors once again. And that lack of combat shields really does hurt him here, as we see the Queen's able to push those Medivacs away to the side. Clem holding on to this gold base up top as Stefano gives him a little bit of a helping hand here. Letting him know, 10 minutes combat shield is maybe something you want to get. And Clem, I think, is probably like, I don't know what Lance means at all in French, honestly, but I imagine it's something like, I know, or, I see, or I actually don't know what it means at all. What could it possibly mean? None of those really make sense in terms of the French words I do know. Anyways, if someone can translate for me, that would be great. Anyways, we are going to be seeing these Medivacs from Clem coming back up towards the upper side, as he will take a 4th base to the top as well. So going to take this top left corner. I wonder if he makes this an orbital, make up for the only 2 orbitals on the map right now. Originally, he built his 4th over here, which I kind of thought was going to be this base taken here and just morph it into an orbital and play defensively as usual, with the gold base already defending itself. Now he takes the base to the top instead, though. I kind of feel as though this is more so looking as though it's going to be, planetary fortress, and he just has to kind of defend this as though it really is a 4th base. So he's missing out on an orbital all game long here. That's kind of crazy. Well, next set of upgrades coming through from Clem. Hive Tech is up from Stefano. You can see that Ultra Cavern coming down. Now, last game he built this, but he never actually built the Ultras, remember. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here once again. Adrenal Glands coming through with the Burrow upgrade as well, +1 flyer attacks. And we are going to be seeing the, well, just the 2nd Spire on the way as well. So he really wants to commit to these air upgrades so early into the game. It's kind of crazy. That's going to be seeing the Lingus Bane's going to get through here. This is a run back. That's actually going to be very painful. I mean, he's all the way through into the natural. He's going to get so much done. Maybe he actually wants to pull away with some of the Zerglings, though. But he kills both engineering bays. Oh, my gosh. I mean, he goes, Lings are just going to come on through, and they are going to be trying to get her out. So, losing both engineering bays. He kills so many of the Zerglings. Okay, Stefano loses a lot of army supply, but no free. And so Stefano's going to take an upgrade lead. This kind of puts Clem to the point where he's like, okay, let's go. Let's push across the map. Thank you, everyone who translated for me. Apparently, Lance, or I'm sure my pronunciation is terrible, but it means started, and that does make sense because he had it started. And he realized his own mistake a little bit before Stefano pointed it out to him. Okay, well, Clem's got a massive army, maxed out. I think you just go for it. I mean, what do you have to wait for? I think you go, well, the Zerg did lose a lot of Lings there. He lost a ton of Zerglings. Though maybe, just maybe, because he knows Stefano likes to keep on attacking, Clem's just sort of waiting for him to attack again, then cleave it and go once more. couple of Liberators sieging up here. Depot's raise, I like it rather than the Rock Tower, just in case he does need to run into, like, push back Corruptors from this position. Blocking down the rocks would actually be a little bit riskier for him. A lot of this push coming down the left side. He is going to find all of these bases, Stefano. We haven't looked at Stefano's bases for a while because he's been the one out on the map all the time, but he's got so many bases up the left as we're going to be seeing the Marines working their way through that hatchery. Another counter-attack in. Once the wall is down, it's so hard to replace it and kind of get that set up again to stop further run-bys. Ghosts are being caught because they don't have Cloak yet, and oh man, Clem has to pull away from the left-hand side. He doesn't have the numbers to deal with this here. A Ghost going to go down as well as the Banes stream in towards that main base mineral line. Siege tank here going to get blown up as well, and there's a few units left over just to keep dealing some damage, and Ghosts are still popping out into this army. It's so painful. Multiple Ghosts going down. We haven't seen a single one of them being used just yet. 4 Ghosts have fallen. Again, I mean, obviously Clem's doing okay-ish in terms of army supply. I just wonder if this many Ghosts is, again, really helping him against what is Pureling Bane. Engineering Bay going down. We see Corruptors. I guess, I mean, a few Ghosts are going okay for him right now, but it's everything else that's going wrong. Stefano's just kind of finding the openings. He's finding the attacks, and he shuts down this planetary fortress. Suddenly, Clem is on 3 bases. It kind of feels like a bit of deja vu from the previous game. Again, though, Clem will clean out a lot of these Zerglings, and Stefano will be left with a lot less army supply to defend with. And you got to remember that in a straight-up fight, Stefano's army isn't amazing. It's really good at just taking kind of run-bys and kind of being everywhere. But straight up against this army, Clem should kind of roll over Stefano's army. With double the army supply, he just needs to find the opportunity to go for it, and that's the issue. When do you find the chance to attack? When Stefano is already, you know, a step ahead in terms of setting up the next run-by, the next counter-attack, which is going to kill workers, bases, and all the rest of it. It's so tough to really think about just how you make that happen. A few Lings coming around the side here. We see a big push forwards from Clem. We're going to see those Zerglings being dealt with as they run on by. I mean, this is what Clem needs to do. Use his army supply lead. See if he can break Stefano with one big push. Bane's on the way up. I wonder if he would kill a couple if he actually knocked those rocks down. Big split here from Clem. First set of Banes starting to finish up right now. There's a big pre-split. He's going to get a lot of those Ghosts right away, though. I wonder if the Ghosts even matter. It might just be better for him to use the Ghost attack. Clem just clean up the first little wave of this. 46 more Lings on the way, but now Clem's on the front lines. He shouldn't really allow for Stefano to actually be able to build the Banelings in time before he loses at least a couple of bases up top. So, again, Clem's making this happen heavily over Stim, though, and he only has 1 medevac to his name, and that medevac has 4 energy and less to go. Clem loses or kills off another hatchery. He needs medevac so desperately here. The army supplies are now even, and that's the issue. Stefano's just had so much economy, and I think Clem really gave Stefano just a moment or two too long to set up the first wave of Banelings and all the rest of it. He just could have pushed a bit sooner, and now we see coming through those Marines and Ghosts disappear. GG, good luck. Stefano qualifies for the Worldy TV Weekly Season 4 Finals. Clem came so close. He'll have to try again tomorrow in our qualifying.